talk about the new and exciting software released from Equus International called MetaStock PRO FX. MetaStock PRO FX is really our MetaStock Pro software tailored specifically for Forex traders. Before we get into the MetaStock Pro FX software, we do need to talk about a disclaimer here. And you see the disclaimer on your screen. I am going to read the disclaimer. Hypothetical performance results have many inherent limitations, some of which are described below. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. In fact, there are frequently sharp differences between hypothetical performance results and the actual results subsequently achieved by any particular trading program. One of the limitations of hypothetical performance results is that they are generally prepared with the benefit of hindsight. In addition, hypothetical trading does not involve financial risk, and no hypothetical trading record can completely account for the impact of financial risk in actual trading. For example, the ability to withstand losses or to adhere to a particular trading program, in spite of trading losses, are material points which can also adversely affect actual trading results. There are numerous other factors related to the markets in general, or to the implementation of any specific trading program, which cannot be fully accounted for in the preparation of hypothetical performance results, and all of which can adversely affect actual trading results. So there you have it. There's the disclaimer. In essence, what that means is, if you go back and look at trades over time, that doesn't necessarily show you exactly how you would have traded in the same given circumstance. Okay, now we can get on with the presentation. And before we actually get into the software, since many of you may not be familiar with the Forex markets, I just wanted to discuss a little bit about trading foreign currencies. Obviously, this is an opportunity that's really taken off in recent years. This is really what I would compare to as the day trading of the late 90s. Trading the Forex spot market today is compared to that. The foreign exchange market is very simple. It's just where one currency is sold against another currency. And usually, most people in the United States tend to trade the U.S. currency against other very common currencies, such as Swiss franc, British pound, Japanese yen, Canadian dollar, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and so forth. I probably skipped a couple there. Obviously, you can trade any pair against any other pair, however. So why trade the Forex market? Well, first of all, it's a 24-hour market. Therefore, if your schedule is not convenient to trade, for example, stocks during the day, you have a day job, but you would like to trade in the evening hours, the early morning hours, in the middle of the night, whenever it is you want to trade, you could do that with the Forex market. There's no overnight gaps. An overnight gap in the stock market simply refers to the stock closing at a given price, and tomorrow morning it opens maybe a whole point above where it closed, or even more. Or it closes down a point or even more below where it closed. This does not give you an opportunity to exercise any stop losses that you may or may not have had in there. So basically, you will be exited out of your trade wherever that market opens the next day. The Forex market, there are no overnight gaps because the market doesn't close during the week. It does close on the weekends, Friday evenings, and opens up again on Sunday evening. But anytime during that time, the market automatically rolls over at 5 p.m. So there are no overnight gaps. Now, can the Forex market gap? The Forex market can certainly gap because of many times news or whatnot, but it gaps while it's open, not while it's closed. This gives you the control to get in and out of the market as it moves. The Forex market is also a very liquid market. Okay? Liquidity means you can get filled at the price that you designate. There's a lot of activity. Sometimes in the stock market, you try to place a trade and you can't get it filled because there's no taker, so to speak. So in the Forex market, there's always going to be a taker. You're always going to be able to get filled in the Forex market. Forex market moves in very, very strong trends. Well, if you happen to be using MetaStock Pro FX and you're looking for trending opportunities and using technical analysis, this obviously equates to big opportunities for possible success. These are some of the reasons why you would want to trade the spot Forex market. So who trades this market? Well, there's a lot of people that trade the market. Multinational banks trade the market, large corporations trade the market, and you, meaning speculators, also trade the market. Well, this has not always been the case. It's only been about 6 years since speculators were actually allowed to trade in this marketplace. So again, we mentioned the currencies are traded in pairs. You can see here EUR stands for the euro, and it's traded against USD, standing for the US dollar. In this pair, if the chart is moving up, it means that the euro is gaining strength on the US dollar. If the chart is moving down, it means the US dollar is gaining strength on the euro, because the US dollar is the second currency in the pair. You can trade this market either way. You can buy or go long if you are speculating that the euro dollar is going to go up in value, or you can sell and go short if you're speculating that the US dollar is going to go up in value. And you can see in this pair, the US dollar is traded against the Japanese yen. In that case, the US dollar is the first currency in the pair. So if you're speculating that the US dollar will gain strength over the yen, the chart, you're predicting or speculating that the chart would go up in that case. All right. Currencies can be traded with a lot of what we call leverage. Now, it's not always advisable to trade currencies with a lot of leverage, but it certainly is possible. I've even heard of 400 to 1 leverage. It's quite common that people trade with 100 to 1 leverage. But many people trade with smaller leverage, 10 to 1 or even 1 to 1. So please be careful if you're going to be trading with a lot of leverage in this market. Currencies are traded in what they call lots. Lots are equal to $100,000. So if you have 100 to 1 leverage, it only takes you $1,000 to control that $100,000 lot. A pip is like a point. Okay, and depending on the currency, a pip is worth about $10. Okay, trades are rolled over every day at 5 p.m. Okay, so you can hold your positions as long as you'd like. There's no time decay like you see in the futures market where a contract expires. The currency spot pairs, and spot refers to cash. The cash currency pairs don't expire, so you can hold on to those for a very long time without selling them. Before we get into the program, I wanted to talk a little bit about why traders sell. And there's really 5 main reasons why traders sell. Number 1 is lack of education. Now, I'm going to talk about, at the end of the presentation, some free education offered by MetaStock so that you can learn this product much better. But many traders feel that they can jump into trading, jump into currency trading with absolutely no education. You need to be knowledgeable about what you're trading, just like any other endeavor in life. What about emotions? William O'Neill once said there's 2 emotions when trading, fear and greed. The problem is we experience these emotions at the wrong time, and we end up buying when we should be selling and selling when we should be buying. Now, obviously, most of us have experienced that before. Now, in order to know whether you're experiencing this, if you get into a trade and it automatically goes the opposite direction, you know that you're experiencing this phenomenon. And most new traders experience this all the time. It doesn't mean that the market knows exactly what you're doing. It means that you're trading on emotion. We need to learn how to eliminate that emotion. The third item is not sticking to a trading plan. In other words, if you're knowledgeable about the Forex market, you know that most of the Forex brokers or FCMs actually allow you to get into what is called a demo account. Now, if you're down 80 pips or 100 pips in a demo account, and your strategy says, it's okay. You didn't get your exit signal yet, so it's okay that you're down 100 pips. It's going to bounce back. Well, it's a lot easier to stick with that strategy in a demo account. Now, if you're trading real money that's much more difficult. So you want to make sure that your trading plan is something that you can actually stick with. If not, you will not be sticking with your trading plan, and more often than not, that leads to failure in the markets. What about expectations? Many people get into the market, they get into some software package, get rich quick scheme, and they have very, very high expectations. They may even expect they'll never lose on a trade. And of course, they get in and maybe their first 2 or 3 trades are losses. Well, this can be very, very detrimental if that's the case, and a lot of people will give up prematurely and get out of trading altogether. So make sure your expectations are where they should be. And the last item is risk management, knowing how much of your portfolio to trade, where to place potential stop losses, things of this nature. These are very important factors when trading any market, whether it be Forex or the stock market. Now getting to MetaStock, and this is referring to the MetaStock end-of-day software, has won the award for the best technical analysis software, and this is software priced under $500. And this award is given out by Stocks and Commodities magazine, and it's voted on by their readers. And for the last 13 years, MetaStock has won this award. Our MetaStock Professional software, which is our real-time software, has actually won this award for the last 3 years in a row. Now, MetaStock Pro FX is a brand new software package, but I'm sure it will be winning many awards as the years go by. As we've said, there's 3 flavors of MetaStock. There's MetaStock end of day. Probably would not recommend that you trade the Forex market with MetaStock end of day. Most people feel that they need real-time data to trade the Forex market. We have many equity traders or stock traders that are quite happy with the end-of-day software, and so if that's your style of trading, you may want to consider the end-of-day software for trading the equities. But for trading the Forex, you probably want to go with the MetaStock Pro FX. And this is a software package that we're going to be talking about today that's designed specifically for Forex traders. Then we have our MetaStock Pro software. And this is designed for people that are not only trading Forex, but any markets, whether they be stocks, options, futures, or what have you. And so if you are trading more than just the Forex market, you probably want to consider going to MetaStock Pro. You can call into our sales representatives, and they can go over pricing of these various products with you. So, MetaStock Pro FX is a software package that runs alongside another software package called MetaStock QuoteCenter. The MetaStock QuoteCenter also is a data feed. Okay? QuoteCenter is a data feed provided by Reuters. This is institutional quality data delivered to individual investors. You must be an individual investor in order to subscribe to QuoteCenter data. But QuoteCenter is not just data, it also comes with its own container, its own application. So we highly suggest that you use up to at least 2 monitors, if not more, to run these applications. MetaStock Pro FX on one monitor and QuoteCenter on the other monitor. Now, you may want to consider, if you don't feel that you need the QuoteCenter application, you only need the QuoteCenter data to feed your MetaStock Pro FX, you may want to consider only opening up the MetaStock Pro FX and just feeding that data with your QuoteCenter. Well, now's the time of the presentation where we actually get to go in and look at MetaStock Pro FX. Now, as you can see, MetaStock Pro FX might be a little intimidating when you first bring it up because, it's really blank, isn't it? But it's fairly easy to start bringing this product to life. First thing you do is you just need to click on this Open button. And then we have the opportunity to bring up our charts. Now, if I'm using the QuoteCenter data, which is my only option with MetaStock Pro FX, I simply click on the QuoteCenter box. I then decide what time frame of the chart I'm going to bring up. So let's stick with the 5-minute time frame. We then need to choose what chart we want to bring up. Now, this data, as I mentioned before, is provided by Reuters. Reuters is the leading provider of Forex data to the institutions. meaning large banks, brokerages, etc. Therefore, we have all sorts of currency pairs here. For example, if you wanted to trade, let's see here, let's find something interesting. The Cyprus currency against the Polish currency, you could do that. Unfortunately, you would probably have a very difficult time finding a broker that would allow you to trade such a currency pair. How about the Danish currency against the currency from Iceland? Probably not going to be available, at least to people in the United States. But you see all these currency pairs. So if you are international and you want to trade the currency pair from your country, Reuters is going to have that pair, or QuoteCenter. QuoteCenter, again, is a white-labeled Reuters product. MetaStock is owned by Reuters. But most of us probably want to just click on this FOREX folder. You can see we don't have folders with stocks in here or mutual funds or anything else, futures, because this is a FOREX product. Now, instead of looking for all spots, which would give you all these different currencies, most people, most customers are just going to click on this Common Spots folder. And the Common Spots folder, that's where you're going to get currencies that are more commonly traded. And that's where your US dollar, Canadian dollar, US dollar, Swiss franc, US dollar, Japanese yen, all those currencies traded against the pound, the euro, the Aussie dollar, and so forth. So that's where you're going to get those currency pairs. In order to open up a currency pair, we just simply highlight the pair, or let's highlight a couple pairs, as we're doing here, and we open those pairs up. Okay, now we have our two charts on the screen. We have the US dollar, Swiss franc, some people call that the Swissy, and we've got the US Canadian dollar pair. And you can see we already have an indicator on the screen, the relative strength index, the stochastic oscillator over here, and the MACD. These indicators are there because I have previously viewed these charts. And if I've previously viewed these charts, MetaStock has something that we call Smart Charts. It's going to remember the indicators you placed on those screens. If I want to eliminate an indicator, I just simply eliminate it by clicking on the box here. If I want to add an indicator, you can see we have a plethora of indicators. So we want to add the Bollinger Bands, and actually, instead of putting them in their own window, let's overlay them over this chart. You can choose your parameters over here, but we just simply click OK, and now we have Bollinger Bands overlaid over the US Swiss franc. This is the way to use the MetaStock software package. Over here, we have all sorts of draw tools. You can see Gantt bands and Fibonacci retracements. Actually, let's grab this Fibonacci retracement. We do this by clicking on it. We find a high point on the chart, and we draw this down to a low point on the chart. And now we have our Fibonacci retracement, which gives us areas of support and resistance on the chart that's in front of us. All right, to remove any of these indicators or line tools, we just simply right-click and then delete. Right-click and delete. Very simple. Sorry, I need to grab the center line here. And let's delete that. And now it's gone. Very simple to use. We have some power tools up here, the Expert Advisor, the System Tester, the Explorer, and those are some more advanced tools, but we will be using some of those in this presentation. Let's go ahead and close these charts out by going File, Close All. Now we are back to our PowerPoint presentation, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the QuoteCenter software and data. First of all, as I said, this data is provided by Reuters, who is a leader in institutional data, and they pretty much own the FOREX market. In other words, they are the leading provider of FOREX data to the institutions. So, you're getting the same sort of FOREX data as the institutions. The large banks are actually receiving in their offices. Meaning, we have 800 contributing banks. Okay, now if you look at most FOREX brokers, they only have about 4 contributing banks. Other competitive FOREX data services have maybe 80 to 100 FOREX banks. We have 800 contributors. We have great FOREX news as well as equity news as well, financial news. Over 240 news services, and something interesting to note is Reuters News beats Bloomberg and Dow Jones to market 70% of the time. We have great historical data, 30 days of tick data, 1 year of intraday data, meaning 1 minute, 5 minute, etc. So it's a great data source, and we're going to see the application in a minute. Just on the news, one interesting note on the news is that Reuters, as I said, is to market before Dow Jones and Bloomberg 70% of the time. What happened that on May 18th this was of 2005, Reuters was to the market 10 minutes earlier than Dow Jones or Bloomberg when Hong Kong changed its currency peg. This move triggered 8 times its normal volume. Now imagine having this story before most of the market, even the bank, had the story 10 minutes before. So this is the type of quality you're going to get with QuoteCenter. Let's go ahead and go into the QuoteCenter package. Now we have the QuoteCenter package on the screen. We're going to start with, let's say, a blank workspace. And if we wanted to set up a workspace on our own, my favorite way to do that is to go to a new splitter workspace. And that way I can create windows on here as I see fit. So let's come down here like this. And bring another window on like that. And all I have to do is double click in the space. And our quote screen is called Market Watch. Of course, I probably want FOREX data here. I just click OK, and now I've populated that quote screen with FOREX data. Let's say that in this area here, I want a news display. So let's just go to News Watch here. All right, so now we've got a news display coming in. And let's say that I want a chart in this window. And so I come down here, and the charting in this particular application is not even called MetaStock, it's called Athena. Alright, so I just come down and I click on the Athena chart here, and double click there, and I can bring up another Athena chart in that window as well. Okay, now let's say I want certain symbols in there. Okay, that's actually loading every one of those currency pairs right in this chart right here. And if I just wanted to hit page down, if I just wanted to hit page down, there's 18 different currency pairs in here that I'm funneling through, as you can see. Okay. Now in this window, if I actually want to link this window to this quote screen here, click on this little chain here, I draw a line down to this window here, and chart the selected symbol, and I click OK. Now if I want to double click on the Euro Canadian dollar, that chart then finds itself in that screen there. This is how QuoteCenter works. So again, if you only want the charting found in MetaStock, you don't necessarily ever need to pull up this application, but you can see that this application can have a lot of value. We already have a workspace set up for FOREX that shows you this nice cross rate table. You've got a quote screen, a chart, and your news coming in, and here you have your foreign exchange news down here. Let's go to this front page. That's just your main news for the day. Alright. But if I wanted to get into FOREX news, I just simply find the FOREX news, which is foreign exchange right here, click on that, and now my FOREX stories come up. And today we see that the dollar is mixed as markets way Tuesday's FOMC. So we're going to bring that up, and now we have our new story. All right, and we have affiliated stories right over here. Okay, so if we want to figure out what's going on in Western Europe, we can bring up Western Europe here. And all of the stories from Western Europe will come up in this window here. If we want to see what's going on in the United Kingdom, we bring up that window there. If we want to see what's going on with the currencies, foreign exchange, all of our currency foreign exchange news is here. And if we want to read a story in here, for example, Brazil Central Bank sells, we just simply click on there, and that story comes up. So you can see that we just have fantastic currency news provided by Reuters with this service. All right, let's go ahead and continue on learning about MetaStock Pro FX. MetaStock Pro FX comes with 4 built-in trading strategies that are specifically designed for the FOREX market. The first strategy is the multi-time frame, and we have 2 Keltner systems, number 1 and number 2, and we have the pattern system. We're not going to go over all of these systems today, but please be aware that they're in your software. We also have in the software many other trading strategies, not necessarily created exclusively for the FOREX market, but this doesn't mean that these strategies will not work with the FOREX market. Now, these strategies were designed in conjunction with successful FOREX traders. So the first strategy, the FX multiple time frame system, has certain criteria that you need to look for. You have basically 5 different time periods on your screen. The first one is the daily. So you look for the daily current trend. If the trend is up, you consider long trades. If the overall trend for the daily is down, you consider short trades. And I'll show you in a minute how you can see the trend. You then look for buy or sell signals on the 5-minute chart. If a buy or sell signal displays and follows the trend direction of the daily chart, then you could either place a trade or you could look at the trends of the other 3 charts to confirm the signal. You could look at the trends of the other 3 charts to confirm the signal. You could wait for alerts to confirm the trend. So here you have a screen of the multiple time frame system. You can see the daily chart, the 60-minute, the 30-minute, the 15-minute, and the 5-minute. Now the daily trend, which is right here in this window, you can see is down, which is why you have a red arrow. And you can see that you have confirming trends in every window. What you don't have on this chart is a sell signal on this last bar. Otherwise, it could be a potential trade for you. Now we're just going to go back in time and look at a chart or an area on this chart where we did have a buy signal. And at this particular time, and this is just the 5-minute chart that we've blown up here and are looking at. So here we see the RSI has risen twice since crossing below 30. If the daily chart confirms an uptrend, this could be a good buy opportunity. And so we have a buy signal, and if the daily chart confirms an uptrend, this is a good buy opportunity. Now don't pay any attention to this arrow over here, because this arrow is actually referring to the most recent bar, not back here when we were looking at this chart in the past. Alright, but obviously when we get a buy signal, then we would look at this arrow because it would be corresponding to the most recent bar on some bar, several days later. Now, let's say that we wanted to confirm this buy signal on the very next bar, and you see our arrow is pointing to the following bar. We see that the MACD has crossed above its signal line. This is a bullish occurrence and confirms the recent buy. While this is going on, and we have confirmation of bullish trends in the other time frames, that's when we place the trade. The next system we're going to discuss is the FX pattern system. The FX pattern system uses the following to generate signals. It uses the Bollinger Bands, the Standard Error Bands, and the Stochastic Oscillator. Most of us may know a little bit about Bollinger Bands or a little bit about the Stochastic Oscillator, but probably don't know a whole lot about all three. We also probably would not know how to use those three indicators in conjunction with one another. This is why we have the Expert Advisor and the Expert System in the MetaStock PRO FX. This is how this would look. We have a buy on the FX pattern system. You see here that we also have on the screen the Stochastic Oscillator, the Bollinger Bands, and the Standard Error Bands on the screen. You can see also buy and sell signals. Let's walk through a trade. Here we receive a buy signal. Our commentary says the buy pattern has formed. Both the Bollinger Bands and the Standard Error Bands are increasing. The Stochastic Oscillator is greater than 65. The Standard Error Bands are relatively close together, and the close is broken above the top Standard Error Band. So all of that is going on at the same time, which gives us the buy signal. It then tells us to place our trailing stop, or our stop, at 1.2919. This stop then changes, which is called the trailing stop, as the market moves. Now, because this is an unregulated market, depending on the broker that you're trading with, you may want to be careful actually placing a physical stop, because sometimes the brokers will actually come down and fill you out of those stops. So be very careful and ask around. Now, this particular trade, if we would have bought right here, obviously we're quite happy right now because we've had 6 5-minute bars in a row. By the way, all of these systems are based on 5-minute time frames that have been positive. So we're up quite a few pips right now. You can see that our trailing stop has changed, but other than that, we're just in an active trade. We're going to move ahead quite a few more bars. This is where we left off, and you can see the market flattened out. We had no exit, however. An exit on a buy would be a green stop sign. See here we have a red stop sign. We see no green stop sign, so we were never stopped out. We were never told to exit this trade. And then the trade took a little turn and continued to go up. We followed this commentary daily. You can see we finally get an alert. Now, this alert is much larger on this PowerPoint screen than it would be on your MetaStock screen. But it basically says the volatility stops just exiting the buy. And you see now we have our green stop sign. So it's a very simple system. We bought here and we sold here. Sometimes we can actually reverse the position. We will get a red arrow instead of a green exit, which means we get out of our long position and into a short position. The reason why we exited here is the volatility stop has been broken. The buy should be exited at this time. This particular trade would have been up 23 pips had we taken that trade. 23 pips at $10 per pip is $230. Let me go ahead and go into MetaStock and take a look at a couple of these currency pairs and how they're performing right now with the FX pattern system. We're going to open up a layout where I already have a couple of currency pairs in a layout that I've created called FX pattern. Open that up. You can see here that since the last time I've been in here, I do have a signal that's occurred. I'm going to skip all these remaining signals, and I'm going to click OK. Now here we have the Canadian dollar on the right side. On the left side we have the British pound. Let's go ahead and open this chart up. I'm going to zoom into it. And let's zoom into the most recent trade that would have been made. Now the market is currently open. We'll be closing shortly as we're at Friday afternoon right now on the market. But you can see here we had a sell on this particular bar here, and we have our sell exit down here. Okay, now where would we have been able to get into this trade? Well, obviously after the sell signal. Be able to exit the trade after the exit signal. Can you see here we had a buy, but then just a couple bars later our buy reversed into a sell. So we never actually took an exit or exited our buy trade and completely were out of the market. We immediately got into a sell. As opposed to this trade here where we bought and exited and we were not in the trade again until the buy signal. Okay. Go through and look at some of the other trades. Okay, so these are actual trades that were made with the Canadian dollar. Okay, now we're going to look at the British pound US dollar. Now obviously, the US dollar is losing strength against other currencies right now. You can see it's lost strength against the Canadian dollar. That's why the chart's going down. The first currency in the pair, but here it's the second currency in the pair. Gaining strength, or the pound is gaining strength against it. So that's why you have a nice buy and an exit signal here on the pound. Alright? Here you had a very nice buy signal and a sell to reverse positions. And you had nice sells and exits on your way down. Had other nice buys on your way up. Other nice buys on your way up. You can see that the system does work quite well. It sells on your way down. Now in a flatter market, you're going to get buys and exits a lot more quickly. So your gains will be larger, your losses will be smaller. This is how the system works. Go ahead and close all of these out. Another interesting item I'd like to note is that 85% of MetaStock users surveyed claim success in the market using the MetaStock software. Now most of these people were trading stocks, as most of our customer base does trade equities. But it's very interesting to note because it's a very high success rate. We have free learning, and I want to talk about that. First of all, we have free MetaStock support, we have a free MetaStock forum, we have free chat, and we have free online training classes. We have 4 MetaStock classes, both live and recorded classes, and we also have 4 QuoteCenter classes, both live and recorded. So depending on if the times work out for you and your schedule, you can take these classes live, or you can just simply watch the recorded sessions. Once you've watched the live session, obviously you can go back and view recorded sessions to help you brush up on what you learned in the live session. If you have more interest in MetaStock Pro FX, call 1-800-882-3040, and you can talk to a MetaStock Pro FX representative, and they can answer any questions you may have. Thank you very much.